What up, soul siblings? My name is Michael. Welcome to Misfit Tarot, the channel where you can come as you are and feel right at home, because when no one fits in, everyone has a place. So today's reading is going to be messages from your past self. I'm not talking like past lives or anything. I just mean like a younger version of you from the past. My good friend Diana, my tattoo artist, my work bestie, the other day we were working together and she was like, oh, that'd be really cool if one day on your channel you can do a video that's messages from my past self, because I would really like to know what they would have to say to me and what they think about, where I'm at right now. And I thought that was a really cool idea, especially lately since I've only had time to do the monthly readings for a while. And the monthly readings have been coming kind of heavy with the messages and the advice. I'm really looking forward to sitting in this energy and bringing messages from your past self, because I'm sure it's just going to be a lot of appreciation, a lot of love for you guys. So I'm very excited about that. I hope you guys are too. Let's go ahead and go to the group selection so you guys can pick your piles and get your messages. All right? Later.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to your pile selection. So this time I brought out these clocks because I thought it was very symbolic of the fact that we're talking to your past self, so we're kind of communicating through time here. So we got group 1, group 2, group 3. Go ahead and take your time choosing your group, and I will see you guys in your readings. Later.
What up, group 1? If you guys chose this cool clock right here, this is going to be the messages from your past self. So I've never done a reading like this before, so I'm kind of just winging it. I don't have as much of a structure to this one as I do with my monthly readings. I'm pretty much just going to pull a bunch of oracle cards and just see what those messages are for you guys, and then after we get through that, then I'm going to pull some tarot cards and just get some final messages, final things that your past self would like to say to you, messages that they have for you. So we're going to start out with my song deck. I did not forget it this time. And we're going to see what song your past self would like to choose for a message for you guys. We got Ego Death featuring Kanye West, FKA Twigs and Skrillex by Ty Dolla $ign. Very, very good song. Then I'm going to pull the rest of these oracle cards here, and I'll start talking about kind of the message I'm getting from your guys' past self with this song. So Ego Death, to me, it means like when you go through a period in your life where, exactly like it says, where your ego dies. For me, your ego is what you think of yourself, how you see yourself. So when we have an ego death, it's kind of feels like you're making a complete 180 in your life, a big change. I guess I'll use myself as an example, just to kind of help illustrate that. Like for me, it was, well, I've had a few in my life, I think, but my latest one, and I think the biggest one, was like kind of an ego death of being a people pleaser. I was very much a people pleasing type person, and I thought that my only purpose in this life was to do things for others, was to make other people's lives easier. When making my decisions, the first thing I thought about was always, or the most important thing to me was always, how is this going to affect other people? And then, I had kind of a tower moment where the way I was living, everything in my life kind of crumbled around me, and I was left with, not a whole lot to build a new foundation. And yeah, I realized that was not the way to live anymore, that I had to be more selfish, that yes, it is part of our purpose here to serve others and to be of use, to the world around us and to people we love and all that, but it's also a big part of our purpose to like think about ourselves and make choices based off how it's going to affect us and not just always think about other people. So anyways, all that to say, that was my ego death. So I think your past self is coming through to say that they're very proud of you for going through that and handling that and facing that, because it's not easy. Like I said, you go from being completely one way and used to living life that way to kind of, like I said, watching everything crumble around you and then realizing that you're not into the same things anymore, you don't feel the same way anymore, and sometimes that distances you from people. Sometimes, you stop relating to people around you that were once very close to you. You outgrow them in some way, outgrow things that you used to do, all kinds of stuff like that. It's just a very, very weird, crazy process. So I think that with that being your song that's come out, that your past self is probably like, wow, thank God that they went through that ego death. Thank God my future self has realized what they realized, because, like, yeah, I'm obviously not living my best life right now, but you, I think, are more in that energy of living your best life, because, like I said, you've gone through some kind of ego death where you're not the same person you were in the past. You're not your past self anymore, and you've had the courage to change in a big way, and, like I said, let go of relationships and habits and all kinds of things that just you don't relate to anymore. So that's really cool. I think, if I had to say, I think that you now and your past self are very, very different people. Like I said, is what I'm getting from that. And in a good way. Your past self is very happy. They've probably been through a lot of pain and suffering. Like I said, I know I did when I was living my life in that very people-pleasing way. Feel very constricted, stuck, trapped. And yeah, I think your past self is just really happy that you've been strong and been through what you've been through and come out the other side the new and improved version of you that you are. Okay, last oracle card here is going to be a spirit animal. We'll see what your past self wants to say to you through a spirit animal here. Okay, so show you guys all the cards real quick. You got the song Ego Death. For the Mystic Misfit Oracle, you guys got the Seer. For the Intuition Oracle, you guys got the Judge. I am relentless in my pursuit of honesty and justice. There's the image on that one. For the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle, you guys got Villain. You can always rewrite the story. So that's really cool. That's definitely confirming the whole ego death energy there. If you can rewrite the story, you're, like I said, how you are now, based how you are in the past, is you're not living the same story. You're not carrying out the same narrative. Like I said, there's something about the way you were living that you've had the courage to change. And then for your spirit animal, you guys got Eagle with Mastery. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. I love that. That's a beautiful message from your past self there. Very powerful spirit animal. Okay, so Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this believe in your own magic card with the villain. You can always rewrite the story. Um, just because I feel called to. And like I said, because I feel the strongest connection with what I was already talking about with the ego death song. And of course, like I said, listen to the song. I don't know if you guys will like it or not. It's not as spiritual as you might think, but it is a banger. I like it. You know, Skrillex always brings the good beats. So, a hard truth to swallow. Sometimes our villains win. However, that doesn't mean you should give up or lose all hope. It just means that it's time to rewrite the story and keep going. It can be incredibly freeing and empowering to reclaim yourself after a personal tragedy. Yeah, so I think with this ego death, that's giving me kind of the same energy, like I said, that I kind of had with my ego death. It's like I think you guys are a very pure soul. I think you guys really care about the world around you. You really care about anyone and everyone. You know, animals, plants. You guys are very, very sweet people. And sometimes when you are that kind of person, you can kind of get shit on by the world and people that are not that way, people that have let themselves become jaded, people who don't think for themselves, people who have been through lots of trauma and haven't responded to it in the best way. But you have, through all your trauma and everything you've been through, you have remained pure, you've remained sweet, like I said. And yeah, like it says here with villain, and how it said in the description there that sometimes our villains win. I think that's something that you guys have definitely experienced. Maybe in your past you guys have been bullied. Maybe in your past you guys have been put down a lot, made fun of. Um, is the energy I'm getting. And like I said, just in a place where you guys felt like, even though you're such a good person, that it's kind of like the whole nice guys finish last kind of thing, where you feel like, oh, it's all these assholes are winning in life, all these assholes are getting everything that they want, and I'm over here being a good person and I'm just getting shit on by everyone in the universe. And that's a tough thing to go through, and your past self really wants to bring that up and say that they're really proud of you for never letting that break you and never letting that make you become cold and not letting that close off your heart, and that you guys have taken it upon yourselves, like I said, to rewrite the story instead of saying nothing works out for me, everybody else gets what they want and I don't. You kind of somehow you found a way to rewrite the story and say, no, you know what, I am still a good person, I'm always going to be a good person, but I am learning how to do that in a way where I don't have to sacrifice my happiness, where I can still get everything I want. I just have to be more discerning about who I spend my time with and avoid, like I said, those types of people that are bullies and all that kind of stuff, not even put up with that anymore. So that's kind of the message I'm getting there from the believe in your own magic. Your past self really, like I said, wants to commend you for going through everything you've gone through and still keeping an open heart. That's really not something that everybody can do. That takes a lot of inner strength, and yeah, they just are very proud of you for that. So now from there, think we'll go into this Judge card from the Intuition Oracle and kind of read into more what that has to say so we can get a better message from your past self there. Times that are ripe for long-needed change are often frightening and confusing, but you must go on in spite of your fears. At times like that, there is no time for pleasantries, tact, or beating around the bush. It is crucially important that you face up to things the way they really are and not see them the way you would like them to be. Things may change for the better, but they will not change unless you ruthlessly judge yourself and your situation and act accordingly when the time is right, neither before nor after. If your intuition is telling you that someone may be lying to you, including yourself, or judging you falsely, then you must be careful to find out who, why, and how. It is very important that you be sure of your situation before you act. Do not accept criticism that says you are too judgmental. Judgment has its time and place. Your judgment is a gift meant to protect you. Yeah, so I was thinking as I'm looking at these images with the seer here, you can see it's obviously like somebody with a crystal ball, very much looks like a clairvoyant, like a psychic. And then in this villain card, if you can see at the top, there's a crescent moon there. And we're getting this eagle card with mastery, very spiritual animal. I was getting the feeling that you guys have a very strong intuition, and I just wasn't sure kind of what your past self was bringing that up for, but this Judge card really makes it obvious now. Like I said, with you guys kind of going from, kind of feels like a zero to hero story. Like I said, you guys have gone from being somebody who's kind of being put down, even putting themselves down below everybody else, to getting to a place where now you are taking up space, you are standing more in your own power, you are trusting your own intuition. I think your past self really wants to commend you on that. And one thing that popped up was facing your fears. When it comes to an ego death, it can be very scary. It can be very tempting to, like I said, when everything crumbles around you, to just be like, oh, well, I'm afraid things are different. Things are not stable. I want to just cling to stability. I want to cling to what I know and just go right back to everything you were doing. But you guys, like I said, had the inner strength and the wisdom to make big changes in your life. And I think with this Judge card coming out, one thing that your past self is really proud of is like how much you guys have come into your own. I'm getting the energy now that in the past you guys very much were susceptible to other people's judgments. You let other people put you down. You let other people make you feel less than. You let other people make you feel judged. You let other people make you feel ashamed of yourself in certain ways. You let other people take away your power, you know what I mean? And I think through this big ego death that you've been through, this big 180 that you've done between your past self and your current self, you've learned how to listen to your intuition more, because this is talking about judgment and judging people for how they are, not how you want it to be. Maybe when you were young, you were very naive. You always saw the potential in people. You always saw who they could be. You saw what you wanted them to be. But through your experiences and growing up, you now see people for who they are. You don't just see them for who they were in the past. You see them for who they are right now. You don't just see them for who they could be in the future. You see them for who they are right now. And same goes for yourself. Like, I think you guys in the past were very, very unaware of your own power and very unaware of how fucking amazing you guys are, is what I feel like saying. I feel like that's your past self being like, you guys are fucking amazing. Like, and I didn't see it back then, but I'm so glad that you are starting to see it now, and I hope that moving forward into the future you guys can see it more and more. Like, you guys have always seen yourselves as less than you really are. You really don't see how brightly you shine. You don't see how powerful you are. You don't see how much you affect every single room you walk in. You don't realize how much people notice you, all these kinds of things. Like, you just haven't seen it as much in your past, and I think as you're moving forward, you're starting to, like I said, surround yourself with better people, surround yourself with better thoughts and habits that are letting you really, let yourself be the star, let yourself be the main character of your story, and just see how beautiful and powerful, like I said, your kindness is, your compassion is. These are things that are not highly valued by everyone and by society at large sometimes, but I think this judge card is coming out to say that you don't need all that validation anymore. You don't need everybody else to agree with how you're living your life. Like, you're living your life true to yourself. That's what matters most, is being authentic, being who you are, in spite of people who might not understand, people who might, like I said, make fun of you or try to belittle you for that. So that's really wonderful. I'm loving this energy from your guys' past self. So yeah, like I said, this seer card just really also hammers in that, like, you guys can really trust your intuition. You guys see things for how they are. Even if you don't have all the information, you guys get a feeling from people. You know when things are off, you know when things are right, you know when things are wrong, you can feel it. And that's something that your past self is really, really happy to see, because, like I said, in your past, you were all caught up in your head. You had all this trauma affecting you that wasn't being processed, and you were very confused. You were feeling all these things inside with your strong intuition. You were perceiving the world how you perceive it, and then you had all these people around you telling you that it's not that way, and it made you feel like you were wrong, but you were never wrong. You just, unfortunately, were not surrounded by people who could understand you, and you were not able to understand yourself yet, to understand how to listen to that intuition. And I think you guys have stepped into a stage in your life where now you trust that. You get a vibe from somebody and you say, yeah, that's how it is. No matter what anybody else says, you trust your intuition. You don't need to explain it to anybody. It doesn't need to make sense to everyone else. Like, you can trust your intuition and you can trust your feelings, period. That's it. So now with this Eagle card with Mastery, you're on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. That's like kind of making me emotional when it says let go of the past and soar. I mean, this whole reading is about, thinking about yourself in the past, and this past version of yourself, I can just feel that they were so, they lived through a lot of sadness and feeling misunderstood, and feeling unimportant and not feeling valued. Yeah, and it really sucks, and it was really hard for you guys. But yeah, I think with this Eagle card, it's just saying that, like, you know, you don't have to live through any of that anymore. And you should be so proud of yourself for going through those experiences and coming out the other side the beautiful, loving, wise person that you are, and that you guys have no limits. I think your past self really wants you to know that, like, you guys have no limits in this life. Whatever you dream that you want to do, you can do it. It says you are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. You are meant in this life to live a life and to see things that you never thought you would see. Because like I said, when you were younger, you thought that you were not capable. You thought that you were, so much less than who you are, like I said. But with this particular spirit animal coming up, and it says your wisdom inspires the world. Like, because of everything you've been through, you have so much to offer this world. Like, I was just talking about this with my friend the other day. Like, anybody can learn skills from, taking a class or something like that. But it's this wisdom that we get from our experiences and from doing hard things, like I said, like going through an ego death and making big changes in our lives, and being honest with ourselves when we look in the mirror. I think with this judge card and the ego death thing, that's very relevant, because to go through an ego death, to change our ego, to change how we see ourselves, we have to be able to look in the mirror and be super honest with ourselves. We have to say, like, is what we're doing right now healthy for us? Like, are we really, are we happy? Am I actually happy right now? Or am I just wanting to be? Am I just wishing to be? So yeah, with this Eagle card saying that your wisdom inspires the world, I think your past self really just wants to add the extra message that you guys are so wise because of what you've been through. And I think that, like I said, you guys are such a compassionate, loving person. I think that whatever your life purpose is here, I'm not just talking career, I just mean, like, what's important to you in life, I think is, like it says here, inspiring people. And maybe it still kind of feels uncomfortable for you at this point, because you're still on this journey of going from this person who always thought that they were less than, who thought that they were nothing special, into, like I said, stepping into your actual power, seeing yourself for what you actually are, this fucking badass eagle, this psychic seer, this person who knows what the fuck is going on around them. You're learning how to sit in that energy of, like, wow, yeah, I have been through a lot, and I have earned the right to take up space in this world, and to see myself as someone who has things to offer the world. I'm not just meant to be here to sit back and watch everybody else do great things. Like, I am here to do great things, and I've been through what I've been through to give me the wisdom to help other people through the same things that I've been through. Like, wouldn't you have loved to have someone like you around when you were your past self, that could tell you these things, that could pump you up and say, like, hey, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. They don't even know you. Don't listen to them. Yeah, I know this person thinks this about you, but you know who you really are. Things like that. That's who you can be. That's who you are meant to be for others in this world. And I'm really excited about that. Your past self is so excited about that. They're like, duh, of course you were meant to be this inspiring leader of people, this wise sage to help uplift the world around us. Like, I didn't know it back then, but it makes total sense seeing it now. So yeah, that's all the messages I'm getting from your guys' oracle cards. I love that so much. Now I'm gonna get the tarot and just get some final messages from your past self. See what they want to say on the way out. Maybe it might be advice. It might just be some more messages of things that they appreciate about you. We'll see whatever messages come through here for you guys. So, Group 1's past self, what are some messages you guys have for them with the tarot? Alright. I think that's good. I love this. Okay, so as soon as this Seven of Wands in reverse popped out, what I heard was, there's nobody like you. And I think that's really, really fucking cool and really sweet. The Seven of Wands can talk about, like, somebody feeling like they're battling. It's like one person with one wand battling 6 people, and they all have a wand, so it's like one person versus 6 people, and it can just feel like this battle all the time. It can feel like this uphill, is that what they call it, uphill battle? And I think that's what it's felt like for you for a lot of your life. It's just been a lot of struggle, like I said, a lot of sadness, a lot of heaviness, a lot of confusion, and a lot of mistreatment, if I'm being honest. And like I said, you've had to be so strong to battle all these things by yourself. And the fact that it came out in reverse, it's telling me that, like I was saying before, all those things, as much as it would be wonderful if you never had to go through many of those things and feel that sadness, because you've gone through those things, you are now, just like I said, just an incredibly strong, incredibly powerful person, and you always have been. That's what got you through all that. And like I said, the message that came out as soon as the card popped out was, there's nobody like you in this world. Like, and when it says here, your wisdom inspires the world, like I said, whatever you're here to do, you are going to make a huge impact on the world, and people are going to continue to just be drawn to you, to be attracted to you, to be magnetized towards you, because there's nobody like you. When people experience your energy, they're like, I've never met anybody like this. This person is so interesting. It's so refreshing to talk to this person. Like I said, it's just a feeling that people get when they're with you of like, I know this person is special. So that's what I'm getting there from the Seven of Wands in reverse. And with this Temperance and Nine of Coins coming out at the same time, I'm just going to take a second to kind of soak this one in, because it didn't hit me as quick as that Seven of Wands one did, but I think what this is coming through to say is, like, you guys have so much to be proud of. Like, you guys as an individual, you have so much to be proud of. You guys are so badass. You guys are such wonderful people. I'm like having such a hard time coming up with the right like adjectives to describe your guys' energy, because it's just like it just feels immaculate. You know what I mean? You guys are just a fucking amazing person, and I think that your past self wants you to enjoy that more. They want you to, yeah, sorry, it took me a second for that to sink in, but temperance, what I'm getting is that, like I said, in your past, you guys have been going through so much struggle. You've been fighting. You've always been struggling and working hard. And with this temperance card coming out, I think it's saying that like you guys are entering a new chapter now. You have already entered this chapter where like you're not going to have to do that all the time anymore. All like there's been an imbalance unfortunately placed upon you where like you've had to put so much more weight on the struggling and the working part of life, and you haven't gotten to enjoy the relaxing and enjoying part of life, you know? And I think what they're saying is that, you know, moving forward and starting right now, like, you guys can enjoy a much more balanced life where, yes, you're still going to work hard because that's just ingrained in you now. You've had to do that your whole life. You're going to continue to do that. And like I said, that's going to lead you, that's going to take you to great heights in this world as far as accomplishing things and making an impact on the world around you. But you're also going to be able to enjoy all the things that your hard work brings you. Nine of Coins talks about somebody who has created abundance for themselves, somebody who enjoys that abundance, somebody who, you know, like I said, pampers themselves, someone who takes their hard-earned I'll just say money, I guess. They take their hard-earned money or whatever things that they have accumulated in their lives, and they enjoy that. Like I said, even spiritually, like all the things, all the hard work that you guys have put in to become who you are, you guys are now going to be able to enjoy that more. Because like I said, if you're still stuck in that mentality of I'm not shit, I'm not worth anything, everybody else around is smarter than me, I don't have anything to offer, then like I said, you're not going to be able to enjoy being the badass spiritual, you know, eagle spirit that you guys are. And also, you know, if you guys are accumulating abundance for yourself and wealth, then you're not going to be able to enjoy that either, because you're constantly going to be telling yourself it's not enough, it's not good enough unless I do this, all kinds of stuff like that. So really nice message here of just saying like moving forward, you guys, things are going to get easier for you, things are going to be more enjoyable for you, and like I said, the sky is not even the limit. Your limit is way past the sky. You don't have any fucking limits. And I also think with this Nine of Coins, it's just saying, and the Eagle card coming out, that you guys are destined for great things, destined for success. And yeah, like I said, your past self just really wants you to enjoy that because you've earned that. This Nine of Coins says that, you know, this abundance didn't just fall in your lap. You worked for all of this. Everything you've done in your life has led you to where you are now, and you should be extremely proud of that and proud of your hard work and enjoy what you have built. All right. So yeah, that's everything I have for you guys, Group 1. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to your past self for coming through and giving these messages to you guys. Um, I forgot my outro paper, but yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to support me and see my channel grow, you can do that by subscribing to my channel. And I'm sending you guys peace, love, healing energy, and until next time, later. What up, Group 2? If you guys chose this cool clock right here, this is going to be the messages from your past self. So, oh, that's hot. Let's get into it. Basically, I'm just going to pull a bunch of oracle cards and kind of go through the messages as they come up, and then once all that is out, I'm going to get the tarot cards and then just get some final messages from your past self, whatever they want to say, maybe even a little bit of advice for you moving forward. But yeah, we're going to start out here with my song deck. I didn't forget it this time. And we're going to see what song your past self wants to use to bring a message to you. You guys got Bigger Than My Body by John Mayer. That's a great song. Oh, I just realized I didn't sing for the first one. That's a shame, but that's alright. So for this one, give me a minute to kind of play it in my head and remember kind of the lyrics. Oh yeah, so basically like the chorus, he says, someday I'll fly, someday I'll soar, someday I'll be so damn much more. 'Cause I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for. Bigger than my body now. So yeah, it's just that I think that one line really says it all. I'm bigger than my body gives me credit for. Like, you guys are, spiritual beings having this human experience. And when we're young, it doesn't always feel like that. We can feel like these sad little beings that don't really know what the heck we're doing here. We can't really do much. We don't have a lot of power, but yeah, I think your past self is bringing this song through to kind of say that, like, maybe you guys were confused a lot in your past about what your purpose is here. You guys always wondered, what is my purpose here? What am I doing here? I feel like I'm meant for something big, but that's just not the world I live in. So I think your past self just really wants to let you know that not to worry, that you guys are bigger than your body gives you credit for. Not everybody sees it. Maybe even a lot of the times you guys don't see it, but you guys are very strong and powerful beings, and you guys are here to make a big difference if you're not doing that already. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that song. It's a beautiful song. I hope you guys look it up, check it out. Okay. So for the intuition oracle, you guys got the experimenter. It says, I am strong and secure enough to experiment as I see fit. So I think what I'm getting from that now mixed with the song is that like your past self is very proud of you for being so brave. I think you guys are an adventurous person. You guys are someone who's, I'm not going to say not afraid to take risks, but you guys are somebody who, even if you are afraid, you have taken risks. And like it says here, you have experimented with your life. You have tried out different things. And I think maybe that's coming with that energy of you guys not knowing what your purpose is, not knowing what you're meant for. And I think your past self kind of wants to come through to say that you guys don't have just one purpose in this life. Like, you guys are bigger than you think. You guys are experimenters. You guys are somebody who's out here to do all the things, you know what I mean? You guys are here to do all the things that tickle your fancy, that interest you, do all the things that light your fire inside, you know, all the things that make you feel passionate, all the things that make you feel happy to be alive, all the things that are fun to you. You guys are meant to do all of that. And by doing that, that is part of your purpose. By doing that, you can show others that we don't have to latch on so hard to our identity being just based off our career. Like, I am just what my career is and that's my purpose in life. Like, no, there's all kinds of, so many other things, so many other facets of ourselves in this life. And a lot of people kind of let that go because they put too much importance on their ego being built off, like I said, how successful they are in their job or something like that. So yeah, I think that's a really cool message that your past self is coming through to say, is that, like, you know, when we were younger, we just thought that we were confused. People were probably telling you, like, they're just lost, or they just can't commit to something, they can't buckle down and finish something, they are, you know, flaky or lazy or whatever. But like, that's not true. Your past self sees you now and they're like, oh, I get it now. Like, there was nothing wrong with us back then. Like, this is just who we are. We are, like I said, we are the experimenter. We are somebody who is strong and secure enough to experiment as we see fit. Like, we don't have to just sit here and be one thing and live the lie that so many people do, of like, if you don't finish everything you start, then like, that's a bad thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's cool to just try things out, and those experiences you learn something from. It's also popping into my head right now. I just saw this like reel on Instagram, some little video of, I think it was Mark Cuban, who I honestly don't know that much about, but I think he's like a billionaire. I think he's from that show Shark Tank, where like they invest in people's good ideas and businesses. But it was just an interview with him, and what he was saying that really stuck to me from watching it was, he said, like, all it takes is one time. He said you can fail at something 100 times. You can fail at 100 things all kinds of different times, but all you need is to succeed that one time and you're set. Like, and that really stuck with me, because I think, you know, something that is being preached a lot is that failure is a bad thing, and it's all about success, and it's all about achievement. So many people fail to talk about failure being such a big part of it. And one of the things that Mark Cuban was saying in the video was like, if you don't go for it, then you're definitely not, you're never going to get that one time. He said all it takes is one time, and if you don't go out and make mistakes and go out and fail and try things that don't work out sometimes, then you're never going to get that one time. And I think, like I said again, your past self wants to encourage you that if you haven't, hit that one time success that you guys are looking for, that this is the way to do it. The way is to embrace who you are as this experimenter, and like I said, step into your own power as somebody who is very powerful, for not just being good at one thing. I think a lot of people think you're supposed to be a master of one thing and be an expert in that one thing, and then that's how you make the most money, or that's how you become the most successful. But there's plenty of people that are successful for doing all kinds of different shit. Like, there's people who are actors and musicians, and they have a podcast or whatever. There's just people who do a lot of different things. There's so many ways that can manifest. It's going to be hard for me to find more examples, but that's just kind of a generic, basic example of somebody who is successful because they're not just focused on one thing. They're experimenting with different things. Some people, get into fashion. They get into... Again, it's hard for me to think of examples sometimes. But, there's people that get into all kinds of different stuff, and they're successful at all of them, because there are certain people in this world like you who just have a lot of different passions. They're not just here to do one thing, Like I said, the people that are good at one thing and become experts and masters in one thing, they're not better than you. You're not better than them. You're just different people here to do different things. But yeah, your past self is definitely really proud of you for never giving up that adventurous spirit, and that you never stopped experimenting, that you never stopped following your desires, you never stopped following your passions, no matter what everybody else said to you. So now I'm going to go with this Believe in Your Own Magic card. You guys got Spaceship, Don't Be Afraid to Sing. And let's see, kind of a more in-depth message with that. You've been made to believe that your voice, that your unique point of view in this world isn't worth very much. Let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Your words are worth all the stars in the night sky, so don't forget to sing whenever you have the chance. Your voice is powerful enough to sink a dozen spaceships. So yeah, I think there's really an energy here of your past self wanting you to get more in touch with them. I think maybe there's a part of you guys that have maybe gotten a little bit lost from your past self. Maybe you've let people's opinions and ideas and points of view get into your head and, like I said, make you feel like you're on the wrong path. But like this card was talking about, like, your voice is powerful. You're the one who needs to start speaking up now. And like I said, just giving your unique point of view on the world. All these interests that you have, they make you a more unique person. They make you a more well-rounded person. They give you more to offer in this world. And yeah, I think your past self is just really saying, especially with this bigger than my body card and this don't be afraid to sing, it's really giving the energy of, like, your past self is looking at you guys and saying, like, hey, like I said before, there was never anything wrong with us get back to your roots, get back to yourself, look inside and start living your authentic truth more, and start putting yourself out there more. Like now that we got this message of don't be afraid to sing, now I'm seeing with the Mystic Misfit Oracle, you guys got the bat, and when I think about this bat card, I think of somebody who's hiding in the cave, somebody who's hiding in the dark, somebody who's sitting in the background. And I think your past self really wants you to really put yourself out there more and really see yourself for the big, powerful being that you guys are. And like I said, get out of that cave, step out of the shadows, and step into the spotlight, and share your voice with the world, with however that expresses itself. Maybe it's your literal voice. Maybe you guys do art. Maybe you guys write. Maybe you guys design things. Like, there's all different ways. That's all your voice. That's all your perspective. That's your creations coming out into the world. And the world, your past self is coming through to say that, like, the world needs more of you. They don't need you here hiding in the shadows. They need you out there, like I said, singing. They need you out there experimenting. They need you out there having fun, doing new things. Yeah, so now I'll go ahead and go to, I actually want to see what this experimenter card has to say, just to see if there's any extra messages that they can say it a little more eloquently than myself, because sometimes I really struggle with my vocabulary, not just kind of repeating the same thing. So with the experimenter, I am strong and secure enough to experiment as I see fit. It says, to make the most of the energies operating in your life now, you have to ensure that you are willing to come up with new and different ways of doing things. Now is a time for exposing yourself and others to unusual points of views and theories, and maybe even unusual experiences too. Think, say, and do what you want without fear of embarrassment, contradiction, or rocking the boat. Avoid censoring yourself or others to be especially careful of... Avoid censoring yourself or others and be especially careful of those who would like to censor you, for now is the time when you simply must stir things up a bit. Most of our lives are spent trying to build things up and to make them last. However, there comes a time when the old ways of doing things become counterproductive. Sometimes instability can lead to inventiveness. Prepare for a time of extremes and expect the unexpected. Be aware that what seems like an accident, mistake, or failure may be a short-lived opportunity for achieving the love you want by an unusual route. Yeah, so most of that was kind of the energy I was getting, but the one thing that they said there that I really loved that they added was I guess, like, damn, what was it that stood out to me? I guess it's here when it says, there comes a time when old ways of doing things become counterproductive. I think that's really cool, and it, like I was saying before, how your energy of being the experimenter and being somebody who thinks differently and being somebody who has a lot of different interests, like, that's the energy that was coming up before. Like I said, your past self is seeing you hiding in the shadows and not spreading your light, and they really want you to do more of that, because like I said, there's so much of the same out there. Like I said, if I go on Instagram and I get stuck scrolling through reels or something, or I'm looking at comments, there's so many people that are just doing the same stuff. It's all about what's trending. It's all about, I see the same comments on every single video where it's like people making the same joke. Like there's people that are just doing the same things over and over to get attention or whatever, to be in the spotlight. But your purpose and what's going to put you in the spotlight is because you're so different. Like maybe you guys might not appeal to the masses, you guys might not be on the trends, but what you guys have to offer is so much more meaningful because it's not that. You guys have such a unique perspective, and there's people out there, you know, like I said, that will be very inspired by you. And your past self doesn't want to see you, like I said, disappear into the shadows and live with regrets in life of what could have been. Your past self really wants you to, like I said, maybe in a lot of ways revert back to your past self and, you know, feed your inner child and really have that childlike energy of, you know, like it said in the passage about the experimenter, like do things without censoring yourself, do things without fear of embarrassment, do things without fear, you know, of anything that anybody else has to say. Like do things with confidence and know that, like I said, you guys have something unique to offer the world. And if you are not seeing more people like yourself out there, it's because you're not putting yourself out there. I think if you guys put your work out there, if you put yourselves out there, if you put your voice out there more, then the people will just flood in. Like I said, not the mainstream people, but you guys are going to find your tribe. You're going to see that there are people out there that have been waiting for your voice. There are people that have been waiting for your unique perspective to come around. And waiting for the inspiration and motivation that you have to offer to be different in this world. And that's really fucking cool. Like I said, that you guys are very powerful. You guys are meant for great things. And I think that's going to be a really amazing experience for you guys to go through, of feeling like you have to hide yourself to then putting yourself out there and being like, oh wow, like I am special. I do have a lot to offer. I am here to change the world. I'm not here, like I said, to just keep things the same. I'm here to make a change in the world. Like that's so much more meaningful. That's so much more important than just, you know, doing the same old tried and true stuff that we all know is going to work. And now, with your spirit animal that came through, we have the penguin with authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy. If that doesn't sum up the energy very well, I don't know what does. So yeah, like it's saying here, your past self really wants you to know that even if you don't have your tribe yet, if you've been feeling like you don't have a tribe, if you've been feeling like a misfit, you know what I mean? Just know that the cure is, like I say, when no one fits in, everybody has a place. It's about being authentic to you. It's not about fitting in with everybody around you. It's about not fitting in and being yourself. And then by doing that, like I said, you attract other people who see that authenticity and are inspired by that. And then you end up relating and finding a community by expressing yourself authentically. Like I said, if we're all here hiding our true beliefs and our true thoughts and our true feelings, and we're all just saying the same things that we know is going to be accepted and we know people are going to understand, then we're all just going to be surrounded by people and feel really lonely and feel like nobody understands us. But yeah, the more you can be your authentic self and be open to rejection. Remember, rejection is protection. And if anybody rejects you, you need to not see that as a bad thing, but see that as a positive thing. Know that you got rejected by that person because they were not aligning with you. There's something better for you out there than whatever you thought you were going to have with that person. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. I love that. Like, yeah, this whole thing is saying that you guys are different. You guys were born to be different, and that's what you have to offer this world. That's what's going to inspire people. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. Yeah, this is all just saying be yourself. The world needs the unique, authentic you, and it's going to totally change your life. And you're going to find your tribe. You're going to feel more connected to the world than ever. You're going to feel more connected to yourself than ever. You're going to feel more important than ever. You're going to feel more powerful than ever. But yeah, those are the messages from the oracle cards from your past self. Now I want to go ahead and you know what? The first reading was like, it wasn't like this. It wasn't a lot of advice like this. It was more like kind of giving them props, whereas this is kind of them, your past self, telling you to give yourself more props so you can get out there and do more in the world and be happy. You know, your past self really wants you to be happier. I'm feeling called to get the inner child oracle and see what kind of inner child healing will be beneficial for you guys to like I said, just be happier in your life and you know, not doubt yourself. So let me go grab that really quick. Right. And we're back. So got the inner child oracle, and let's see what we can get for you guys. This is kind of cool. I've never been called to change up the reading in one of the groups like this before, so it's definitely very affirming to me that I'm getting more in touch with my intuition and, you know, being in touch with the spiritual beings that I'm talking to here, in this case your past self. I think your past self really wants you guys to have this extra message. So group 2's past self, what inner child healing is going to help your future self get back on track and be happier. Okay, well, we got 2. So we got Adani with outdoors and nature. And we got Hazel with wonder. Okay, so I'm going to start with Adani with outdoors and nature. Okay. I am called Adani. I grew up learning to be one with nature and live off the land. I love daydreaming as I wander through the forest or carve down my arrowheads. My father taught me a deep appreciation for animals. When Adani appears, your inner child is being called to find a natural, creative outlet. Garden, make dream catcher. Learn wood burning, or collecting and creating with twigs and things. When we follow our inner explorer and get back in tune with our primal, instinctive, creative nature, we awaken new parts of ourselves. Have you been feeling stuck or stagnant? Feel like it's time for a change? How long has it been since you took a moment to slow down, reflect on the direction of your life? Is it still in alignment with who you are today? Who you want to be? When this card appears, it's time to get back to the roots. Take a time out and take inventory of your life. Are you depleted of your creative nature or in turn? As you find time and space to appreciate the outdoors and nature, you'll gain a clear perspective and be able to make a clear and true choice about how you want to live and what things in your life need to change. This card is a compassionate wake-up call. And the mantra for Adani is, I have all the answers I need within. And I will go ahead and show you guys the remedies and journaling questions just in case you guys want to work with those in your own time. But yeah, that was, as soon as I saw this card, I could tell that's what the message was. Like, getting outside, getting in touch with nature, getting in that silence, or, you know, just being surrounded by natural sounds, the wind, the trees, water, animals. It can really get us back in touch with ourselves. Like I said, I'm getting this energy that you guys are feeling, like I said, maybe stuck, maybe stagnant, maybe, yeah, not feeling like the main character of your story all the way, feeling like there's more out there for you than what you're seeing right now. That's a big energy of this song. I hope you guys listen to it. I think it will be very inspiring for you guys. But yeah, and like it said, when we follow our inner explorer and get back in tune with our primal, instinctive, creative nature, we awaken new parts of ourselves. And I think that's what your past self was trying to say. Like, there's parts of you that maybe were awake when you were younger, and there's parts of you that have never been awakened that are calling to be, that the universe also wants you to do that, because you can help make this world a better place. And you know, like, that whole explorer energy goes right with the experimenter. Like, do new things, shake it up, you know. If you guys are feeling stuck, shake it up, do new things. I just heard, I think it was in a tarot reading, I think it might have been Dragon Scout, I believe is the name of the channel, and she was saying, shoot, and now I blanked on what the message was. Oh well, it'll come back if it comes back. But that's what she was saying. She was saying if you're feeling stuck, it might have been Empress Cenis actually, but regardless, what they were saying is if you're feeling stagnant, if you're feeling like you're not happy with things as they are right now, there's two things that you can do. And if possible, do both of them. She said one is stop doing things that you're habitually doing, that you're always doing, because that will create a shift in the energy. You know, if you have some kind of habit that's not making you happy, like, stop doing that thing, and that will make space for something new. And she said another thing that you can do is start something new that you've never done before. That's also going to create a shift in your energy in a big way. And I think that's something for you guys to think about, that you're being called to do by your past self, to, like I said, just really bring you more happiness, fulfillment, more meaning in your life. So now let's go ahead over to Hazel with Wonder. Hello there, I'm Hazel. I'm very excited you're here. Every day I wake up and I let yesterday fall away. Every breath, every sight, every experience is brand new. I live in constant wonder and excitement. I have a technicolor vision of the world and I want to share it with you. When Hazel appears, your inner child might be seeing the world through a lens of gray hues rather than a technicolor masterpiece that it is. When we are living from a dull perspective, it's hard to see the wonder in anything. Acknowledge your inner child's current experience, but help them learn a new one. Ever heard of the age-old expression, one man's junk is another man's treasure? Well, Hazel is a firm believer in that, because Hazel knows that what we experience in life has a lot to do with the way we choose to view it. It's time to switch out the gray lens for some 12K high perception ones. Can you let life be exciting again? It's time to wake up to the wonder of life. Okay? And the mantra for Hazel is, I have technicolor vision. The world is full of wonder. And then we have some more remedies and journaling questions there. If you feel like that will help you guys in the coming days, weeks, months, to get back in touch with this energy, So yeah, some things to work on there with your inner child. Getting back in touch with nature, experimenting, doing new things, stopping things that are not making you happy, and just really getting back to that childlike sense of wonder that I hope that you guys have had at some point in your life. I'm sure you did. I feel like all children do when they're at least very young. They do look at the world in this. They see a lot of things that we as adults start to ignore because we're told that they're not important. But the energy here is you decide what's important, and what's beautiful to you doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. Maybe you guys have been doling out a lot of things and not focusing on them as much because other people don't think they're important, other people don't think they're beautiful, other people don't understand it. But this is a call for you guys to really get back in touch with yourself. Like I said, get in silence, unplug, actually get out in nature and feel, like one of the things that I'm getting with this going out in nature card is, like I said, when you kind of unplug from everything, and that's what it was saying in the passage for Adani, is like when you cut out all the chatter and all the noise of social media, of co-workers, other people that you interact with that you don't necessarily connect with on a deep level. Once you get all that out of your head, that leaves space for epiphanies, that leaves space for magic, that leaves space for you to get in touch with yourself and your own thoughts to come in and to hear more of that. And I think that your guys' current self is really feeling the craving for that. So I'm really glad I pulled out that inner child card for you guys. Thank you to your past self for prompting me to do that. And now let's go ahead and finish off with the tarot. See any last things that your past self wants to say here. I'm thinking that it might be advice, but let's see what comes out. Could also be encouragement. That was something that came out from the tarot in group 1. Okay. Group 2, what are some last things you guys want to say to your future self? Okay. Love that. Okay. And I feel like that's it with the tarot. So you guys got the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, which is one of my favorite cards. This one's been coming out a lot for me lately. But I'll start with the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is talking about taking action, and taking action now. So I think that's an energy that your past self really wants you guys to get into more moving forward, is like, instead of sitting around and thinking and, like I said, hanging around in the cave observing and waiting to get out there. Like I said, get outdoors, whatever, get out there and experiment, get out there and create. Just taking more action. This is a fire energy. All the wands are fire energy. You can see there's fire here. This bird is carrying the wand that's on fire. Like, your past self wants to see more fire out of you, and that's not to make you feel ashamed of where you are right now. Like, not at all. There's many of us, if not all of us, that go through some kind of period like this where we're feeling out of it, we're feeling disconnected from ourselves, we're feeling disconnected from the world. But this is just a call of something that your past self knows will bring you more happiness is what is it? Think more, do less. That's like I'm really big on quotes. I'm really big on putting deep things in a very simple way so that you can kind of make it like a mantra. And I think what I'm getting from this is a good mantra for you guys is, I think I fucked it up actually when I just said it, but it's think less, do more. Maybe I said do more, think less. I hope I didn't say think more and do less, because that's not what we're going for. But think less, do more. Yeah, and this also talks about like moving forward with your creative energy, like bringing your creative energy out into the world. Like I said, this person, I mean, animals are people too, okay? But this bird is carrying their torch, like they're carrying their passion and they're moving with it. They're carrying it out into the world. And I think that's something, like I said, that your soul, that your current self is really craving right now. So yeah, just a final message on the way out from your past self to really work on taking action and really be following your passions. Wands talk about passion. And with the Eight of Wands, there's a specific emphasis on your passions being aligned. It shows all these wands that are parallel with each other. They're all in alignment. So, like I said, take some time out to, see, because like I said, you guys have a lot of interests, and you only have so much time in the day. So I think it's asking you to, look at your passions, see which ones that you want to do most, start with that. Maybe start with one thing at a time, and really just, like I said, work on taking the actions. Don't overthink it. Don't think about which one is going to bring you success the quickest. Like, that's not what's most important. What you're looking for is meaning. And to find that, like I said, it's about following your passion and just taking action on it. And with this Three of Cups, it came out here with the Penguin card that I was really feeling. It came out here with the Bat card. I think something that you guys are really looking for is community, understanding. And with this Three of Cups coming out, I think what your past self is trying to say with this one is like, the more you follow, the more you can be your authentic self, the more you're going to find people who appreciate you for being that authentic self. The more you're going to find your tribe. Like I said, say you're into, I'm just going to use an example for myself, but like say you're into, say you're into video games, and the people around you say stuff like, oh, video games are for people who are nerdy, and they say that like in a negative way, or video games are for people who aren't doing anything with their life and they're just like escaping reality, or all these kind of negative things that people can say about people who like playing video games. The more you give into that and you say like, oh, well, the people around me, they don't think video games is a good thing for me to be doing. But like, if you're passionate about it, if you have fun with it, like, keep doing that. And again, this is just one example. You could replace video games with a million things, that whatever you like to do that maybe other people around you don't agree with. But do that thing that makes you happy, that doesn't make everybody else happy. And by doing that, let's use the video game thing as an example. Say you start playing video games online, or you start expressing more that you like video games. Maybe you're wearing more like t-shirts that have video games on them. Like, you're going to meet your tribe. You're going to meet somebody that comes up and says like, oh, cool shirt. Like, you like that game? I love that game. Like, we should play sometime, or, stuff like that. Like, by being your authentic self, no matter what, in the face of any kind of opposition or disapproval, that's how you find your tribe. Like, that's how you find the people that do click with you, that do get it. And, the cup cards talk about emotional fulfillment. And this Three of Cups talks about three people, you know, it's about friends, it's about community. It can be about family as well, but it's just about people appreciating each other for who they are. And I think that's what your past self is trying to say, is like, this is in your future. As long as you keep being your authentic self, like, not only will you feel more in touch with yourself, and you'll feel more proud of yourself, and you'll feel more powerful in being the main character of your story, but you'll find all the other characters in your story as well, the people that are into the same things of you, the people that get you, like, they are out there, but you can't find them unless you can be your raw, authentic self all the time. You know what I mean? And obviously there are certain times where we can't just be our raw, authentic self. We have to be, like, professional or something. But as much as you can, like, put yourself out there, be different, and there's a whole community waiting out there for you. People that will really understand you, people that will really get you and appreciate you. And who doesn't want that? You know what I mean? So that's everything I have for you guys, and once again, I forgot to get my little outro thing with my whole spiel, but thank you guys for sharing your energy with me. If you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment if you guys have anything to say. I love reading your guys' comments and getting to know my community better, getting to know all my misfits out there who, are coming and being part of my community. And if you guys want to support me, please subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends about my channel if they're into spiritual shit. And I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of healing energy, peace as always, and yeah, I'm just sending you guys a lot of support in this journey, because I definitely am supportive of people who are different and who are here to shine a unique light on the world and change the world in some way. And I can see that you guys are meant for that. So, love you guys. Thank you. Till next time. Later. What up, Group 3? If you guys chose this little clock right here, then this is going to be your messages from your past self. I gotta say, I'm excited to see what comes up. I thought I knew how these readings were going to go. I thought they were all going to be your past self coming through and saying, I'm so proud of you. You guys are doing such a good job right now. But Group 2's reading kind of took a turn, and it was very interesting. So yeah, I'm intrigued, to say the least. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens for you guys here. What messages your past self has for you. So we're going to go ahead and get a song and see what message they have for you there. We have A Little's Enough by Angels and Airwaves. Love this song, love this band. Beautiful music. This song is very, very touching for me. That's why my energy when I saw it kind of went like, oh. Because I'll tell you right now, the lyrics of the song that really stand out to me is I think it's the chorus. Honestly, I'm not good with the structure of songs and what's a verse and what's a hook and what's a chorus and refrain and all that stuff. But basically, the part that I'm thinking of with this song is he says, I'm sorry I have to say it, but you look like you're sad. Your smile is gone. I noticed it bad. The cure is if you let in just a little more love. I promise you this, a little's enough. So yeah, like I said, it's giving me the energy of maybe you guys need a little more love right now, but we'll see with everything that else that comes out. But yeah, I feel like that's the only lyrics that are coming up for me right now. I know there's more, obviously, but yeah. What comes before that, though? Sorry to say. I'm not sure. Sorry I have to say it, but you look like you're sad. Your smile is gone, I noticed it bad. The cure is if you let in just a little more love. I promise you this, a little's enough. Ah, yes, okay, that's the other one. He says, every tear is so alone that God himself is coming home to say I can do anything if you want me here. I can fix anything if you let me near. What are those secrets now that you're too scared to tell? I whisper them all aloud so you can hear yourself. So yeah, that's a really good lyric too that I like. Basically saying that God, Spirit, is saying that I can do anything if you let me near. Like I said, I can fix anything if you want me here. So I think that's a message for you guys as well. That like, you know, if you guys are having tough times and you're feeling like you need a little more love or support, or things are not going the way you want, like, remember that there's a whole universe around us that we are part of, and that is a part of us. I was watching the second Avatar movie, The Way of Water, recently. I honestly didn't finish it. I passed out because it was really late and I was hanging out at my mom's house. And I had gotten a little drunk, but I remember I wrote down in my notes app a line from the movie. He said, we live in Awa and Awa lives in us, and basically Awa is like spirit, or like their idea of God in that movie. And I thought that was really cool, and that's definitely something that I feel is true. I know most of us spiritual people, we believe that, like, spirit lives in us and we are part of spirit. Like, it's all around us. We are all connected in some way. So I don't know, that's just a message that came out. I don't know if you guys needed to hear that, but your past self seems to think so. And yeah, I really love that line that the cure is if you let in just a little more love. I promise you this, a little's enough. So it's like, yeah, whenever you guys are feeling low, feeling lost, whatever it might be, just know that all it takes is a little bit more love, for yourself. And like I said, if you need to get that from Spirit, you can do that. Spirit is always here to believe in you, to support you, to encourage you. But yeah, that's kind of what's coming through there from that song card, and that other random message that came through about Avatar. That kind of just came as a download. But looking at the rest of your cards, we have... Okay, I'll start here with this Tome card. Here with the Tome, this is the Mystic Misfit Oracle deck. The Tome card talks about somebody who's on a lifelong journey of learning. This is somebody who is constantly learning, somebody who is incredibly wise, somebody who gets more wise by the day, by the week. And obviously here it's talking about a tome, which is a type of book that holds a lot of knowledge. but translated to today, this can be done through the internet as well, or TV also. So I think your past self is wants to say that they're very proud of you for keeping that energy of always being a student, always having more to learn, because the more you learn, the more then you have to teach. That's another thing that comes with this tome card, is because you are constantly learning, you always have more to teach as well, and that's a big part of your purpose here in this life, and that's something that you do on a day-to-day basis, just by being who you are, just by being interested in learning about things more, by diving deeper into things. You then have knowledge and wisdom and experience to offer others when they come into contact with you, when they have maybe a random conversation with you. You affect people, you leave them with a lasting impression. They remember things that you said that stuck with them, that changed them. Is really the message I'm getting here from this tome card. Yeah, you guys are some kind of teacher, some kind of leader. Now let's go ahead and move on to this creator card. So with the Intuition Oracle, you guys got the creator, and the affirmation is, I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. I love that, because I say that a lot myself. Like, life is a game, life is a dream. You can make it whatever you want, and it's supposed to be fun. You know what I mean? Not all the time, obviously. There's times when life really fucking sucks and it's heavy. But as much as we can, it's important to have fun with life. And remember that it is like a game. Like, the more work you put in, the more you accomplish your objectives and accomplish the mission, the more that you get to the next mission, and the more that you level up. You know what I mean? That's why we always say leveling up. But yeah, the creator, I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. That's like a super amazing affirmation. I don't know if you guys want to write that down and say that to yourselves. But I'm going to read the passage here to kind of see why your past self is bringing this card out. Now is the time to explore your creative talents. Creativity soothes the soul. Creating your life every day is an art, and we are all artists. Writing, making art, music, and movement all create a ritual space in our lives to restore our connection with the quiet voice of our higher minds and to benefit from its wise guidance. Make time in your busy life to simply play without looking for results from your fun, or you are depriving yourself of one of the main reasons for living. To demean the importance of games and fun is to demean the importance of life. The refreshing joy, exhilaration, and skills learned from play can help you solve your problems. The challenge is to recapture the sense of adventure, wonder, and playfulness of a child. Children see a situation and ask questions and make statements that can enable an adult who thought they knew everything about the situation to learn something completely new about it. I love that. Okay, so I think this is telling me that you guys are somebody who's very in touch. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's going the other way with it, because you did get a little's enough as your card. I'm thinking your guys is a little bit more kind of your past self trying to get you on track a little bit here. So actually, I think that what this is coming out to say is that your past self wants you to remember that you are, like I said, you are meant to have fun here. Yes, you are meant to gather wisdom. Yes, you are meant to gather knowledge and spread that knowledge to others. But it's also supposed to be fun. It's not just supposed to be all serious. And like it says here, children can see a situation in a certain way and ask questions, to find out more. Like, I think that's something that's coming through here. So, like, yeah, they definitely want to pat you on the back for your curiosity and your willingness to keep learning no matter how old you get. Like, that's one way that you will continue to have success in your life. That's one way that you will continue to shake things up. That's one way that you will continue to have a fresh perspective on the world to offer to other people. Like, that's what people want. Not everybody wants that. I was talking about in group 2 how a lot of things these days is about what's trending, what's everybody else talking about. But like, I can tell that you guys with the creator card coming out are definitely somebody who is not meant to just follow the trends and follow the crowd. You guys are somebody who has your own unique viewpoint, and like I said, that comes from asking questions, that comes from being open to learning. And like I said, in turn, that's something that you have to teach the world, is that nobody has everything all figured out. You're going to inspire people. You're going to shake up the people that think they have it all figured out or think they need to have everything all figured out, and you're going to show them that, like, no, you don't. Nobody has it all figured out. Like, just have fun. Sometimes you need to just have fun. You don't have to have it all figured out, because that's impossible. We're just humans. Yeah, so I think, yeah, like I said, I don't know. I kind of went back and forth with it there. I couldn't tell if this was going more like group 1, where it's patting you on the back, or group 2, where they're giving you advice. But now the more I'm channeling, the more I'm feeling like it's a pat on the back, that you are a very creative person. You are allowing your inner child to be free. You have done work probably to learn about trauma that you have endured and that has affected you, and taken the time to deal with that. And like I said, you now have this energy that a lot of people don't get to when they don't deal with their inner child, where, like I said, they become adults who think they know everything because that's what somebody told them growing up, that like, hey, I know everything and you need to do things how I say because I've got it figured out. And if you don't do it my way, then you're going to fail and you're going to be unhappy or whatever. But like, that life is our own, and life is our own adventure, and I don't have to do things the way that you want to do them. And again, that's the fun of it. Like, I think you guys are probably a little bit of a rebel, and I love that. I love my rebels. So yeah, pat on the back there from your past self. I want to see what this feather card is about. You from the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. You guys got feather with think first before you judge. And I kind of know what that one's about, but obviously in this context it's going to mean something different. So I'm excited to see what the message is here. Did you commit to lifting up one of your sisters only to drop her down into the blaze? Examine the situation. Is your judgment justified, or is it society tricking you into your stance? After all, it does have a habit of making you believe that other girls are your competition and that they must behave perfectly at all times. Step back and take the time to figure it out. It's not always clear at first, instead of acting rashly. So yeah, like I said, that was the energy that this card comes with from the creator of, like, it's kind of like a lot about female empowerment, but you don't have to be female. If you're male watching this, like, guys, we should be pumping each other up as well. We should not be, feeling like we have to compete with each other or be better than each other. And, same thing with women as well. Women should be sticking together and pumping each other up and appreciating each other as well. We shouldn't be throwing each other under the bus regardless of gender or anything like that. Like, we should all be trying to lift each other up, because that's what we deserve and that's what we want for ourselves. So yeah, the fact that this came out with the rest of the energy I'm getting, I think that your past self also really wants to appreciate that you are somebody who does that. You are somebody who doesn't feel the need to compete with everybody. You're somebody who, like I said, likes to have fun with things. And when you're playing a game for fun, then you're not going to treat anybody poorly that's playing the game with you. If you're playing a game competitively and your ultimate goal is to win, then that's when you can start stepping on other people to get ahead. That's when it becomes easy to start having negative judgments of other people when you don't even really know them that well. Like all kinds of that negativity. Like you guys are just above that, honestly. Like you guys are somebody who thinks first before they judge. Like, and you're somebody who, like I said, they got their own thing going on. You're over here building a wealth of knowledge for yourself. You're building abundance for yourself. You're not doing it to flex on everybody else. You're not doing it to be better than anybody. You're doing it because it makes you happy, because it's fun, because you love being creative, because you're in touch with your inner child who knows that a big part of being alive is just living and enjoying this life. So yeah, that's really fucking cool. Your past self really wants to pat you on the back, really wants to appreciate and let you know that it is appreciated how compassionate of a person you are and how you just really wouldn't say a bad word about anybody, unless it was just the objective truth. Like if somebody's objectively being an asshole and doing wrong to people, then yeah, you are gonna call it like it is, but you're not gonna be trying to make other people look bad, or because of your own insecurities about something, you're then gonna project that onto somebody else and saying, "Oh, why are they doing that? They should be embarrassed," or stuff like that. Like I said, you're way above that, and that's really cool because a lot of people are not. A lot of people are out here judging people, especially on social media. You see comments, everybody wants to jump on any opportunity they can get to tell somebody that they're a bad parent or they're a slut or they're this and that, whatever they might want to say about somebody, that they're stupid, whatever, they're wrong. And your past self just really wants to tell you, like, yo, good job for not being one of those nasty people, you know? Okay, so the spirit animal that you guys got is the loon, and the catchword is intuitive. It says, listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Okay, so here it is, loon with intuitive. So yeah, I think this is a message from your past self. One, to say like that you are very intuitive, your intuition is very strong, and that you should always trust it. And two, that if you're ever confused about something and something's really weighing on you and something's stressing you out and something's making life not feel fun, it can be really easy to get caught up in that and to stress more and to get in our heads of, why am I feeling this way? What's the right thing to do? I need to take this into account and that. And, it can get really overwhelming. And your past self just really wants to remind you that, like, from the past till now, it's part of you that you have a really strong intuition and that you can trust yourself, that if you're ever confused, all you need to do is get rid of everybody else's voices in your head, get rid of everybody else's opinions, and find that space within yourself and listen to your own intuition and come from a place where you're giving more love to yourself and say, you know, if I loved myself unconditionally, what decision would I make? Like, if I knew that the universe wanted me to be happy and that they're going to make sure that that if I take a risk that they will catch me, like what would I do, And that's where you'll find that intuitive nudge saying, like, you know what you want to do, you're just scared, or you know what you want to do, but you don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, stuff like that. So yeah, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Listen to the song in your soul when it comes to your creations, when it comes to anything you want to do in life. Like, don't worry about what everybody else is going to think. Like, worry about what's going to make your life enjoyable for you. It says, emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. So maybe you guys are kind of caught up in like being busy lately, and your past self wants you to remember that you don't have to always be productive. As we get into adulthood, we kind of have this viewpoint forced on us that if we're not being productive, then we're being lazy. If we're not being productive, then we're not doing anything. But that's just not true. Like, sometimes having fun can be very productive. Having fun can make us more productive because we feel better, because we'll stay healthy. We're not going to get burnt out. We're not going to get sick because we're taking time to be happy, to relax, to let our body be as stress-free as possible. I'm a firm believer that stress is one of the biggest things that makes this world so sick. So it's saying here, like, take a break from the busy life every now and then, and remember that you don't always have to be busy. Like, you can take time to relax. You can take time to do nothing. You can take time to just have fun. You can take time to, again, seek more solitude. So maybe you guys are somebody who spends a lot of time with other people. Maybe you guys have a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of people kind of, pulling on you, saying, hey, what are you doing? Hey, do you want to hang out? And it's kind of hard for you to say no a lot of the time. But, I mean, with this card coming out with this message of seeking more solitude, I think your past self is saying, like, hey, again, if you were being unconditionally loving to yourself, do you want to go to this thing today, or do you want to go to this thing tonight, or do you want to stay home today? Like, do you want to rest? Do you want to spend your time doing this thing for someone else, or like, is your body telling you that you need a rest? Or do you want to hang out with people today, or do you want to just like sit in your pajamas under the covers in bed? Like, you know what I mean? And again, that comes from your intuition. That comes from giving yourself a little bit more love when it is called for. Yeah, recognize that you are unique and you are loved. That's a big message coming through, is that Spirit loves you, and Spirit wants you to love yourself the way they love you. They want you to love yourself unconditionally. They want you to know that they would never judge you for passing on plans. They would never be like, oh, this person doesn't want to hang out tonight, like, fuck them. They're so lazy, like, they don't like me or whatever. They're not going to judge you in all those crazy ways. They're going to be like, oh man, this person doesn't want to hang out tonight. Like, I'm glad that they can stay home and rest. I'm sorry that they've been feeling tired. Like, that's what love comes from. And if anybody is reacting in any kind of way that isn't loving to you like that, then spend even less time with those people, honestly. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from your oracle cards. Very positive. Your past self is very, very proud of you. They just want to see you guys show yourself a little bit more love, I think. I think there's some ways that you guys, yeah, like I said, are giving a lot of love to everyone else, and not as much to yourself. And I will say, maybe putting this tome energy towards that will also be of help to you. I think your past self is coming through right now to say that, take that curious mentality and apply it to yourself. That will help with your intuition, like asking questions instead of thinking you know everything and thinking like, oh, I can handle it. Oh, these people really want to see me. Oh, these people miss me. Like, oh, these people really want me there tonight. Like, okay, yes, you can know all those things about these other people, but like, what about yourself? Like, what about knowing about what you want? And also, just like I said, with the tone being somebody who reads a lot, somebody who gets a lot of good information from the internet, like maybe you can look more into content focused on self-care. There's lots of good stuff out there. I follow some good like life coaches, therapists on Instagram, spiritual people that talk a lot about self-care. So maybe find some more of that to inspire you to put yourself first more of the time. And again, by doing that, that's how you're going to inspire people in this world. That's how you're going to make the most positive impact that you can in this world. By showing people that it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to say no sometimes. It's okay to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your health, to prioritize your well-being. You know what I mean? To prioritize loving yourself. That's something that a lot of people need to see more of. Okay, so now I'm going to get the tarot and see what final messages your past self wants to bring through for you guys. So group threes, past self, what else you guys got to say? Okay. So yeah, definitely with Justice being the major arcana coming out, and that it's coming out in reverse. When Justice comes out in reverse, if you guys have ever seen it come up in one of my videos, to me, the first thing it says is that you're not treating yourself fairly. So I think your past self is kind of coming through and saying like, hey, kind of what I've been saying this whole time, like, don't put everyone else first all the time. Like sometimes, yes, it is a beautiful thing when you love somebody to put their needs ahead of your own. But if you're doing that constantly, then you're going to get burnt out. You're not leaving space for you to be happy. You're not loving yourself the way you deserve. So yeah, call here from your past self to say, don't worry about what's fair to everybody. Don't worry about what's going to make everybody happy. Don't worry about what's going to please everybody. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to be true to yourself and to be fair to yourself and to be unconditionally loving towards yourself. Okay? Unconditionally means you love yourself no matter what you do. And also to remember that those are the only relationships that you should be accepting in your life. You also got the Three of Wands. and the Knight of Wands. And with these coming out together, what I think that's telling me is that like I said, I was kind of getting the vibe before that you guys have been very busy. This card came out saying, escape from the busy life and seek more solitude. And then I'm also getting this energy of like you're kind of putting other people's needs before yourself, that kind of thing. So I think another thing that it's trying to say here is like, actually, now I'm kind of getting something different. So yeah, this creator card said, I love playing the wonder-filled game of life creatively. And that really speaks to me of the energy of the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is somebody who's like, takes their passions and they run with them. They're passionate about something, they're going to do it right now. They're going to take action on it. They're going to enjoy it to the fullest. They're going to be in the moment with it. They don't have to have anything all figured out. All they know is I have a passion for this and I'm riding for it. I'm getting on that horse, or in this case, some kind of ram or goat or something, and they're gonna run with their passions. You know what I mean? And I think that what this message is coming out here with the Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands is that like that energy of following your passions, and like I said, having that Knight of Wands energy, because like I said, that Knight of Wands energy, that's going to be very inspiring to people. If they see you saying, this is what I'm passionate about right now, this is what I'm going to spend my time doing, doesn't matter if anyone else gets it, doesn't matter if other people's feelings get hurt because I'm spending time on what I'm passionate about instead of doing something that I'm not as passionate about with them. That's going to take you to where you want to go, because the Three of Wands, as you can see, it's this person, climbing the ladder to who knows where, great heights. It's telling me that energy of being creative and having fun with life and really following your passions is going to take you to where you want to go. So if you're somebody who is, you're obviously somebody who's very creative, but if you're worried in any way about like, yes, I know I'm creative, I know I'm good at what I do, but where is that taking me? How is that going to end up? How am I going to turn that into success? This is coming through from your past self to say that like you don't have to worry about that. That path will be revealed to you as you keep climbing that ladder. Every step you take towards your passions, every step you take towards enjoying life will bring you more experiences that will show you where to go next. By taking action, the Knight of Wands is very much about action. By taking action, by taking each step without overthinking it, that's going to open up doors for you. Like, I was talking about that in a reading recently where it's like every decision you make opens up another decision, and it's like every step of life and every second of the day we are faced with a choice where we can do this or that, or even a third thing, or sometimes we have even more options than that. But it's like through the choices we make that then, if you think about like multiverse and timelines and stuff, it's like each choice that we make then opens up different opportunities than if we had made the other choice. So again, listen to your strong intuition, get in touch with your intuition to get everybody else's opinions and needs out of it, and think about what. And I just want to throw a disclaimer in there. Obviously, if you have children, you do have to take their needs into consideration, but you know what I'm going for here. Like, listen to your intuition when it comes to your life and your path in life and your decisions. yeah, I think it's going to take you exactly where you want to go, and you're going to live a life without regrets, because we're not going to regret taking steps towards things that we love. You know what I mean? We would never do that. We regret not taking steps towards things we love. We regret making the decision to do something that we don't love over something that we do love. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the final messages coming through with the tarot. And of course, for the third time, I forgot to put up my little cue card thing with my outro message. But thank you guys so much for sharing your energy with me. I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, your messages from your past self. Thank you to your past self for coming here and giving you guys these messages. If you enjoyed the reading, please leave a like. If you have anything to say to me or anybody else in the Misfit Tarot community, please leave a comment. And if you want to support me and see my channel grow, please subscribe if you haven't already. And tell your friends to check out my channel if they're into spiritual shit. So, group 3, sending you guys lots of peace, lots of love, healing energy, and until next time, later.